welcome to Bloods and Bros, the best podcast in the United States. How you doing? This is me, Bro Jam 2, and this is Bro Jam 7.
Due to scheduling conflicts and Sam's poor decision making, I was going to be alone for this podcast. So I instead have found a replacement for both Sam and Simon in Jack.
Hello.
Jack, would you introduce yourself?
I am Jack. I have known Grant since about when he was in 8th grade.
So I have known Jack for the past 9 years. So it's ever since I was 11 and joined the Boy Scouts.
I was in 8th grade, never mind.
You were in 8th grade, but it's still the past 9 years we've known each other. And you've known Sam for going on 4 now? He's been doing the board game day since senior year.
I've known since a bit before, actually. I think it was like my junior year. So I've been here. Whenever I started hanging out with them was when I first met Sam.
Jack being 2 years older than us makes any talk of time really difficult. And then you have met Simon before. That's a true statement.
I met Simon back in high school. I haven't seen him since then. No, I only knew him for like 2 years. That was about it.
Yeah, he was only at our high school for 2 years.
And Board Game Day, I think he was at a couple of those.
No. There's a chance he might have been at one with you. So did you know Simon outside of the anime club, or was it just through the anime club?
It's through you guys. Just through hanging out at lunch. We just hang out under the tree, that one raised area.
Yeah, so we've all known each other since high school. And then I've known Jack a bit before that via the Scouts.
This is supposed to be Aquafina water. Some Aquafina water. That's what I was drinking a second ago. I think
the taste not that. That's
includes. I think it's how much salt.
There should be no salt. There should be no salt in bottled water.
Well, usually add salts in there to add for flavor. This was no salt at all.
Yeah, like no salt.
Yeah.
You're thinking of sparkling water. Sparkling water adds salt.
That's what some rare waters do. But I digress. That's not important.
Bottled water shouldn't have salt in it.
Yeah. For overdose, because if you have too much water, you can overdose on that. So the salt prevents overdose. That's the explanation I heard. I'm not sure that
salt makes you thirstier, right?
Yes.
So that would literally be inducing overdose.
Well, shit.
If the more water you drink, the thirstier you get, you're gonna drink more water.
It's about thirst.
I think someone was putting salt in your water trying to get you to overdose.
Thirst is the worst. Grant. That was a funny LOL moment brought to you by Jack. And Aquafina water. Now in 3 different flavors.
Can you name all 3?
Mud. Actually clear water. And
the water when Jack adds salt to it.
And fish water.
What is your first memory of us together in the Scouts?
Me trying to convert you to Christianity.
Is that actually your first?
Yes, that is. That is the first thing. I remember your face. You had this look on your face. You want me to go away.
Probably. Was that the first camperall?
No, it was at the lock-in.
At the lock-in.
Where we would all play Halo 3. But we played Halo because we didn't want to see real people dying.
That was the rule. That was the rule.
But if it was people dying in an outfit and they were super soldiers or aliens,
there's no blood in Halo, so we were allowed to play that. That was the only first-person shooter that was allowed at our Boy Scout gaming event.
And we had the Hill brothers. They're really cool guys, a bit crazy sometimes. He brought out Grand Theft Auto one time. We played it for a total of they didn't catch it for an hour, and then we eventually got shut down.
The lock-ins were always great. Every February, our Boy Scout troop, just all night long, we just have pizza and video games. And my first memory of us and the Scouts was my first camperall. Do you remember these sexy squirrels?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So during camperall, the troops subdivide into patrols, and each patrol picks a name. They make a flag. They have a yell. And the first year I was there, was it Wilson's idea, or was it?
I think it was maybe Keegan's idea. I'm not entirely sure.
One of those two, almost certainly.
Yeah, they call themselves. Well, they didn't call themselves, but one of them called us the bad boy troop, and they tried to be rebels in Boy Scouts. That was the kind of trying to achieve.
Rebels in uniform. So that's what I have the memory of. Because because it was my first camp out, was that first camper. So I was put in with the older boy troop, so they show me around and stuff. And I just remember them following around the daughters of the owner for the whole weekend. We didn't get much done that camperall.
Yeah, we ended up we didn't do anything. We got a big truck after that. We had two of our people on our troop ended up kissing the girls that we were following around, and they got in trouble for that. And like, yeah, Camp Brawl, they encourage you, you're supposed to be Boy Scouts. You do all these events, you have fun, go wild. But it was like wild in a completely different way, and we did absolutely none of that. So we got a stern talking to. Thank God I was gone though. For some reason I couldn't go to the next meeting. So I missed us being forced to have our hands up in the air for about 20 minutes.
Hi, Mr. Luby. Yeah, the Vietnamese torture technique.
Which, to be fair enough, it was way against Boy Scout conduct.
And it's still Mr. Slosher still brings it up now, even though it's been it's been like 8 years since it happened.
Oh, it's hilarious. That's why he brings it up.
It's hilarious, but no one's around to remember it anymore.
So let's talk about something different. Grants.
Growing up in Bakersfield, I would say, was excellent for scouting.
Yeah, I say so too.
Because it's 2 hours to the mountains, 2 hours to the desert, 2 hours to the beach. The amount of variety of campouts and stuff we got to do while in the scouts, it was phenomenal. And I don't think it can be outclassed by like anywhere else in the nation, honestly.
Probably a cooler environment would be a lot better, no matter where. Because you do the hiking merit badge, right? You hike 20 miles. And while you do this, the weather in Bakersfield is insane for this, because the air is usually bad air quality. And the temperature, when I did it, it was 103 was the max temperature. So for 6 hours,
when did you go hiking?
The hiking merit badge.
No, like what time of day?
We left at 6 a.m. and we got done at 12 p.m. Maybe 1 p.m.
Took you that long?
It was the long 20-mile hike, whatever it was.
Yeah. Wait, were you with... I know I did the hiking merit badge. It was with your father.
Yeah.
Were you with us then?
Oh, this is before, I think. I don't think you're at this one. This one was hell. We went to.
No, because I did... Well, when I did the hiking merit badge, we just started hiking like along the Kern River. Mm-hmm. It was me, my father, and your father.
Yeah.
We started at like 4 in the morning. We ended... It was before noon. It was somewhere like around like 11-ish. It was like just starting to get hot.
Yeah, for us,
we start really early in the morning just because of temperature.
Yeah, when I did it, it was in the we were up in the middle of the day, still hiking in hot weather.
It's dreadful. I wouldn't do that.
I just know it's hot. That's all that matters. It's hot. Bakersfield's not a good place to do a hiking merit badge. You should have gone out of town. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just
good for stamina though.
I don't know. If I imagine our year of campouts, like we can go to, like Monterey Bay. And to like Red Rock Canyon and to the High Sierras, like just the amount of variety we got was great.
It's just transplanted weather from somewhere else. We need to have like giant AC units all around Bakersfield. We get those little like a sharper image air freshener things where the air goes dirty from one end, comes clean out the other. Oh, that was awkward. On to the next topic. What do you have for us, Grant?
I'm just thinking of like not the topic from Dinosaurs. Did you ever watch Dinosaurs?
What's Dinosaurs?
The television series Dinosaurs.
Oh, I heard about it. It's the comedy show with like a mockumentary type thing. Not mockumentary, but with like fate. It's like dinosaurs hosting a TV show.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's some
not
great.
The topic.
There's some great '90s shows. One of the best of them all, Bakersfield PD. That's a real thing. It's a Bakersfield police sitcom, and it probably has a big fandom in England. So probably the English, unless it's Bakersfield, is either country music or the country fans, or it's the show Bakersfield PD. And it begins like it's one of those batshit insane intros I've seen in my whole life on television program. So what happened is this guy he lives in Washington D.C. and then he finds out that his boss had been replaced people's sperm samples with his own and artificially inseminated their child, thinking that was actually the father's sperm. So he gets sent to Bakersfield. So he's driving down. So I was asking people directions.
That sounds like the start of Jaws, where it's a cop gets thrown off the force and gets sent to like a nowhere town. But in this TV show, he's then sent to Bakersfield.
Yeah, so it begins with like country music. Shows Dust Devils, him driving in, and they talk about Bakersfield on the radio. Talk Bakersfield. Bakersfield, it's a nice 108 degrees. And so the guys are looking miserable, and they get to like the first sign of Bakersfield. It's like, hey, I need some directions, please. This older couple, look at this one black guy. He's a black police officer. And then they the older couple gives him a weird look and drives away. Then he finally meets the one white guy, this one non-racist white guy in the show. He's on rollerblades, listen to music. He says, "Hey, listen to." He asks them for directions, but then the white guy asks him this one song about this one funk artist, actually for the lyrics, and then he's get explanation. Then he drives by, is a bunch of gangbangers and lowrider trucks, and all of a sudden this man on the roller skates gets a pistol out, points at these guys, starts skating towards these gang members, and hijacks Cart's later police officer. And that turns out to be, guess what? His partner. So yeah, that's intro to Bakersfield PD.
You could be making all of this up, and I would have no ability to tell.
I'm not. It's on YouTube. Look it up yourself. It's hilarious.
If this whole podcast is a jumbled mess, it's not my fault, listeners. Blame it on Jack. Blame it on our special guest star.
It's our first podcast, okay?
This is Jack's first time talking to other people in like 4 years.
Yeah, shut up.
So Jack, you are going to college, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't just a lie you told your parents.
Oh, I am, yeah. UC Riverside. So what's it like going to CSU for you? What's that like?
Going to Cal Poly?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good. My school's it's a technical school, so most of my classes have been hands-on, focusing more on lab than lecture.
Yeah.
So most of my professors have stopped using textbooks and have started just teaching us from what they know. Because most of our professors, especially in the higher level courses, are being hired from industry, because no one gets an engineering degree to become an engineering teacher. So our school has to find people in industry who want to go into teaching. So most of our professors are just dragged out from industry into the teaching profession, and they prefer to teach in their own way than teach via a textbook.
Yeah, school's kind of the opposite, because we're a UC, so our program's primarily on research. So that basically it functions kind of like your school does, because no one really does research at our school, unless you're from a research degree. Because I think people go to UC because they know it's a UC. UC is supposed to the higher caliber of universities in California. In reality, our school is a 67% acceptance rate, whereas your school is 30%.
So we were at 30 the year I went in, and then the school decided we need more money because they need so our main administrative building was built on a fault line and is sinking. So we had to build a new administrative building, and then half of our dorms were declared not up to California code, so we had to build new dorms. And our school was like, what is the fastest way to make a lot of money? We're going to accept everyone. So for 1 year, our acceptance rate jumped to 70%. Now it's back down to 40. But there was just 1 year where we let in 50% of the current number of students.
I think my school is 62, and we go between 50 and 70% to acceptance rate. Because our school is with a diverse campus. That is our primary incentive to go here, I guess. That's what we try to promote. Which is less about academics and more about trying to just bring multiple people together, multiple groups, to study together in harmony.
The only thing I know about UC Riverside is that I had a couple friends who that was the only school they got into, because they only applied to UCs, and that was the only one that it would accept them. So I've got a couple friends who are going to UCR not out of choice, but because that's the only school that will let them in.
Yeah, it happened to me. The reason I'm at UCR was I made a big doo-doo mistake. I was out of town for vacation, right? So we get this. So I applied at several universities. I got on the wait list for 3. 2 I was rejected from, and I was accepted to UC San Diego. Great. The problem was so the week we got the acceptance letter, I left for Hawaii, and I was not checking my emails. And you had 1 week to reply to that email to get accepted to UC San Diego. So what happened was I got into my math class for Bakersfield College, community college. I think it's 1 class to pass. So I finally get this 1 class in the summer, so now I can finally graduate. Yeah, so UC San Diego, I was accepted into that. I got on the wait list, and I was really, really excited. But what happened is that I got the letter. I was waitlisted in the school, and I finally got the letter in an email saying, "Hey, you're accepted into the school. You have 1 week to apply." The problem was I left for Hawaii that very day, and I was taking off the last day you had to click accept. So I was vacationing in Hawaii, and I got into this one math class I needed to for Bakersfield College, my community college for the summer, in order to finally transfer to the school. I finally got into that. I was excited on that. Did not check my email. Wanted to enjoy my vacation, and then I missed to go to UC San Diego.
All because you just wouldn't check your email.
Yeah, I was out of town though. As inconvenienced.
That's not an excuse.
As inconvenienced by vacation.
You can have email on your phone.
Yes, but anybody would sympathize with this. I understand. It's ridiculous to give you 1 week to apply, but I understand on their side.
I think it's ridiculous that you didn't check your email for a week.
I know it's my fault. I know, but I know I did check it because I got this email from 1 class I wanted to pass, I did not know they were going to send me this past class to San Diego, and they're going to send me this email. That's why I missed out on that. It's my fault, but it's a bad situation I was in. That's how I look at it.
So anyway, now you're going to UCR.
It's not bad, actually.
What are you doing at UCR? What is your degree?
I am studying history. I think I'm a history teacher in high school. Maybe a professor, I don't know. But I'm going to apply for the libraries. Our school, I guess the really cool thing about our school, and I'm kind of glad I went to it, is that we have the largest collection of science fiction and fantasy in the world. But seriously, the biggest private institution for this.
You mean public institution?
And biggest private collection of science fiction and fantasy in the world. A lot of fan stuff. And the guy that donated a lot of the works is Fred Patton. And Fred Patton, for 90% of people in the world that do not know who Fred Patton is, he is pretty much the founder of anime fandom in the United States. He co-founded the first Anime Club cartoon fans organization in 1977, and was the premier fan historian for anime and furry fandom, mind you. So that's a fascinating fact. All right, so yeah, I'm getting a job over there during this next coming winter. This winter quarter, because some students are graduating, and I really hope to get into this, make sure into a future career working at this place. Though I'm not a library science major though, so that might screw everything up. So I'm not entirely sure.
Is this just a long-winded way of saying you have no idea what you're gonna do with your degree?
No, I know, I do. No, history teaching. I can get a credential. Like, let's say we go to grad school, get the credential, do it online. That's my main thing. Maybe do law. So there's two options I have, and teaching a credential shouldn't be too hard. That's should be pretty easy and give me a good career. Something I want to do. Something that pays well, benefits. I don't make let's say much as like computer science major engineer, but I still make a little bit above the national average yearly income. I get vacation time, 3 months off.
That's a big plus.
Yeah, government benefits. As my grandfather said, always work for the government. I also said vote Republican, so that must be kind of like it's a weird contrast, but it's about saving money pretty much. So.
Now, becoming a teacher is a good job. The only problem is that in California, we have, I think it was we have an overabundance of English, and I think we have, like, just enough history. So getting a job in California might be more difficult than other states.
Well, what we have right now in California, and the United States in general, is we have charter schools. And they're really big in LA, Los Angeles. My cousin works already for a charter school. He runs it over in Orange County. So that's some connection. Probably a charter school job. That's what I'm thinking. Because they're always hiring, so...
All right. I just know that in California, if you're attempting to become an English teacher, there are no open English teaching jobs in the state just because all of them have already been filled. But if you're becoming a science or math teacher, there are hundreds of open job positions because pretty much every school district in the state needs more math and science teachers.
Yeah. I
know that for the Bakersfield City School District, where my father works, if you're trying to become a math teacher, they will pay for your credential and give you $50,000 a year starting, first year teaching, right out of college if you just promise to work for them, because they're just such a debt of these kinds of teachers.
Yeah, things are not good at math or science. So as I do history degrees, it's fun. I find it interesting. I want to teach kids critical thinking through this. It is very important. So I'm not going to be a teacher just for the money. It's also an interest of mine, and also I think it's an important thing to do.
No teachers are in it for the money. They're in it for the vacation time. That's the real benefit. You're never going to make $200,000 a year, but that fat cat who's got to work a 9 to 5 while you're getting all summer off. Yeah.
Yeah, I think charter schools pay more too, if I'm correct.
Don't you get fewer benefits through charter schools? Isn't that the trade-off?
You probably do.
Yikes. You make more, but then you have to also pay for your own health insurance. I think it's equal at the end of the day, but,
Yeah. So we'll see. But they get government funding too, though, so... But I don't know, if this administration, charter schools are kind of a big thing. The education person, the head of the government education thing, is really into charter schools. And if there's a drop in funding, it might go back to public. That's no problem for me, because I'm fine with public schools too. It's not a big issue for me. I'm just here for a job, pretty much.
Someone please hire Jack. That's all he wants.
Yes. So what are you going to do with your computer science or computer degree grant?
Yeah, computer engineering. So my degree, it's the programming side of computer science and then the circuitry side of electrical engineering. I don't like circuits. I find them very hard, and I don't like dealing with them. So I will... with my degree, I hope to never touch hardware. Just because it's...
With an engineering degree, never touch hardware. Engineering is a hardware degree, no matter what type of engineering you do.
I know how to do it. It makes sense. But it's hard.
Well, I like circuits. Maybe we could team up. I can take part of your job and take the other half.
Speaking of teaming up, Guillermo got a computer science degree. I've been meaning to contact him about what he's been doing. He's been looking for a job. He was looking for a job last time I spoke to him. I just haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, I thought Ian created a computer degree, but the problem was I don't like math. So I didn't want to have to... Programming is kind of interesting, but I don't want to like write code all day. But then, so recently I heard about, what's it, CE degree? Not computer engineering.
Civil engineering?
No,
chemical engineering?
It's a computer degree with not much programming.
What computer degree has very little programming? That's not...
They're talking about it. Guillermo mentioned it too. It's doing one of the Boy Scout things. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of like advanced IT almost.
Advanced IT.
Yeah, instead of getting a certification, you get a degree.
You don't need a degree to become an IT person.
Yeah. You need certification. Like, one of your many followers on this podcast know what I'm talking about. They'll understand what I'm saying.
One of the hundreds of listeners currently listening to this podcast will definitely know the obscure degree Jack's talking about that's probably offered at BC for some reason.
With me, we're going big. This podcast is going to go somewhere.
See, I know Daniel got I asked him like what he was doing. He said I'm getting an engineering degree. And I was like, any more specific than that? He said, no, I'm getting a general engineering degree. And I've got no idea what that means.
That's more physical stuff. It's more like engineering,
It could be. I've got no idea what that means.
That's a good point. Well, I assume it's general engineering. It's just a general...
But what is that?
Like, general means it's just general. It encompasses multiple things under one degree. So engineering, like physical engineering, computer engineering, mechanical engineering, not physical. Mechanical engineering, computer engineering, all that.
But there's so many kinds of engineering. So, like... my school, that we have a college of engineering, and within there's the civil department, the chemical department, the electrical and computer department. There's a lot of stuff, and he's never, like, the times I've asked him about, he's never explained to me what he means by general. So I've got no idea what that means. It's a degree he got, and I'm really interested to know where he's working now.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to catch up with most of the guys from the Scouts. It's been too long. So you were head of the anime club for several years back in high school. Are you continuing that trend even now? No.
I am a treasurer for the Underground Comic Society. Community Comics Inc. I originally was not going to be interested in taking up any club rules to do some things in BC. I was not going to take up any other club rules over East Riverside. But I'm now the treasurer of the comic book club, or else I was going to die. So.
Are there only 3 members of the comic book club?
There are... Okay, so excluding the officers and the person's coming up to be an officer, there were 3 people showing up to our meetings. Yeah, and they were... If you count the officers and one who's going to become an officer this year, we had a total of 5 or 6. Yeah, those are the ones we have right now. We actually had 7. My friend is now leaving the school. He was graduating this winter, and we had originally a lot of us. We were not me and 3 other people that were now leaders. We're not leaders of the club. Because the old officers that were the leaders of the club graduated. They all graduated because it's one of those clubs where everybody graduates because they're all around the same age.
Yeah, that's generally how clubs based around friends work.
Yeah, so now we have 7 people in the club, counting the officers, whereas we used to have 14 originally.
So the only club you're a part of is this comic books club?
Oh, I'm in 5 clubs. I'm in the comic book. That's the only one I'm involved in with leadership. I'm in the Greenwood Anime Society.
Of course you are.
The DJ.
Of course you are.
Yeah, the DJs and Vinyl Files. The the Starving Artists Club. The Cosplay Brigade, and I was going to the breakdancing club, and I'm going to that.
Breakdancing.
Yeah, I was going to join the. Hey, we have a team, the B-boy club. You use the term breakdancing. That's sin, and for good reason. And I'm going to join the fencing club again. Just to fence back in high school. Fencing as in the sword fighting thing, not building fences. So I'm joining them again. Brought my sword and all that. So might get back into that. And breakdancing club too. Might get back into that also.
I cannot remember a single time when you have ever breakdanced, Jack.
I've been practicing since elementary school, actually. I started dancing around you because this is a situation where I would have to dance around you.
If you ever danced around me, then we'd just make fun of you. That's a lot of clubs.
Yeah,
Are your classes just not taking up enough of your time?
No, they don't. Well, all these things are at night, so it's I have I have classes in the day. I think at night, weekends I have nothing going on. Oh, I'm also in the Osu Club, the Osu Riverside, which is practically the rhythm game club, which I want to I want to join a rhythm game club because I saw some videos about DDR clubs like back in the 2000s. They used to have DDR clubs. That's kind of died out. So now I joined the Osu Club, which is the only rhythm game club on school. I've also joined our gaming club Discord, but I cannot go to the meetings at the same time as my anime club meetings. And I've been anime club longer than I have been interested in the gaming club. So
I am the precise opposite to you. I avoid most clubs at my school just because I don't want to interact with other people.
yeah, I try to interact. 'Cause I was trying to the idea was I go to college and become more socially active. That was kind of the purpose.
Boy Scouts wasn't scratching that itch back in high school.
Well, I did. So I used to hang out with friends of Boy Scouts and no one else otherwise. So now I do clubs. It's basically the same thing. I hang out with people in clubs. Sometimes they'll do something together outside of clubs. And that's about it. Like I don't really hang with people in my free time. I used to go to the computer lab and do my homework, or goof off on games, of course.
So what video games do you play besides DDR?
Krunker.io. It's an IO game. It's a browser HTML5 FPS game. It's actually really fun. It's also the best FPS I've played. I like old school deathmatch style games. So I prefer it to do the deathmatch aspect. I prefer it to Quake Champions. I prefer it to CS:GO. I prefer it to Rainbow Six Siege. And then there's one other game I like. It's called it's a free FPS game called Black Squad. I highly recommend it. Really fun. Not too fast, not too slow. Military themed. It's a really good one. I also downloaded Battlefield 2 recently. Since it's been revived. There's an active community for that. So basically, I play free games. I have specific taste in regards to FPS. Lately, I'm dead serious. I've been enjoying Roblox Battle Royale. It's called Alone Battle Royale. It's a pretty good game. I play it mostly because Battle Royale games take too much space on my computer. And this one's it's Roblox. So I just have a 12 megabyte download and I'm able to click on it on the browser and play it. But I also like to get into called Rings of Elysium. But now I found out it can accesses your internal files somehow. And it's run by a Chinese company, I think Tencent, so it's kind of iffy. It's a good game though, it's kind of sad. It's probably the best of the free Battle Royale games. If you want a more straight Battle Royale experience, if you're not looking for something like Cuisine Royale, where you have classes and special powers. If you want a standard PUBG type, I recommend Rings of Elysium. Though it does take up your personal data possibly. It doesn't matter to me because I'm on the school computer, so I'm using the school computer and playing it on there. So, and I like to play Tetris too. I haven't played that in a while though, but I like Tetris Online Poland. What it is, it's a Polish guy made a non-Japan only version of a Tetris Online Japan. It has an international community. It's a pretty big community. It's a good free Tetris game. I play a lot of games actually. This is probably getting really boring, so let's stop with me naming all the games I play. It's going forever.
I don't know. It seems your games don't have a central theme, and you seem to just like free low poly shooters. That seems to be your niche.
I've been trying to find a good one for a long, long time. I found Black Squad, which is a great game. The problem is
Quake Champions not enough for you? What's wrong with Quake Champions?
I don't know. It's not. I like more military style. I don't really like the fantasy weapon thing. It takes up a lot of space. It's not the fastest game.
It takes up a lot of space.
Yeah. Well, it does. Yeah, it's 60 gigabyte download. Whereas I usually download smaller games. Yeah, it is now. Quake Champions. Yeah, it's it's really gotten bigger. But also, it's practically a dead game too. It took me 5 minutes to find a room. I'm just miserable now. So Krunker, it's almost immediate. It's a faster game, more military style. I also recommend Krunker. It's a really fun game. So what do you think about the rain right now? It's kind of nice living in a less rainy area with a lot of rain, hearing at one point at a time. And it's quite nice, very calming. It's better than the constant heat and hot sun.
No, the rain was almost incredibly annoying. So we're in Bakersfield right now. Sam should have been here. He's a few blocks away, but he's currently procrastinating on his essay.
This now the boy is back in town with the special guest boy.
So now that a boy is back in town, another boy is mysteriously absent. So I was driving back to Bakersfield Wednesday. It was supposed to be night, but I decided to skip my last class because I didn't want to drive at night because, obviously. So I was driving back Wednesday midday, and it had been pouring down rain all day. But as soon as I started, it just cleared beautifully. And as soon as the rain cleared, all the traffic cleared. Which weird how that happens. It's not like people don't know how to fucking drive in the rain. God, there were 3 accidents on the 210 while I was driving in. People are just stupid.
The other thing about that, it's like if you're from a non-rainy area, if it's insane when it rains, how everybody drives. Like one time I was driving from the rain, and one guy was accelerating on a corner, going up onto a road onto one of the turn-ins. His car span out, and the best thing I ever saw was I was driving on the freeway. You know that they have like a 20-foot bank on the side of the freeway,
right? It's not 20 feet.
Well, it's like over downtown it's more like that.
Is it?
It's like 20 feet up, and there was a car halfway up on it. And it didn't look like it was torn up or anything. It was like it just drove up onto the side, got up. It was the strangest thing. It was amazing.
Driving is nice when there's no one else on the road. I find driving fun and relaxing when I am like just alone. As soon as there are other people, it's awful because people are stupid.
In order to not sit arrogant, I have one like story of me messing up in the rain. I was in my car at Acura Integra, a very lightweight, kind of sporty car, and there's one turn I usually take near my mom's school, it's a large turn. So I usually go sometimes a bit fast on it. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna go fast on this turn too, like right now too. Terrible idea. It was rain. It was really strong rain too. I didn't consciously think about going fast. I just ended up going fast without thinking about it. So I take this turn, and all of a sudden my car lifts up in the air. Like
no.
Then all of a sudden my car starts sliding. It's like sliding diagonally. It's like it's going forward but staying at the same position it was in on the turn. So I was like floating over. I was like, oh shit! My body just let go of the wheel and put the wheel back in place. And my body just like got in this weird state of mind. I don't know exactly what it was. So I think it goes back to normal. It slides about 10 feet all the way to the end of the road, and there's a curb. I don't hit the curb though. My car starts slowing down more and more. And lands back on the ground. I hit the accelerator like you should do after your hydroplane and you're back on the ground. Hit it lightly and then go. And so for the next 5 minutes, I spent my time laughing from the adrenaline of saving myself after this incident. And it was the most amazing experiences I've had driving.
Don't be stupid in the rain. Just don't do it.
Yeah, don't. From experience, I can say no. Don't. Might be fun though, so do it sometimes. I like the rain. Like driving in the rain.
Driving in the rain is bad.
Initially, even me like it. I enjoy the rain on the mountain hills. So I like driving in the mist. I like listening to some good music.
Okay, driving in the mist is okay.
Rain
is not.
I listen to some good trip hop on there, like like Portishead, Runaway UK. That's a good music. Thievery Corporation.
Rain is only good when you're inside looking out at it.
Like acid jazz, trip hop, lo-fi hip hop. It's good. I like being outside. I like to smell the rain too.
I don't like being in the rain. I don't like getting
wet. I hate being in the rain.
Yeah. So yeah, rain is only good when you're not in it.
I like the umbrella. It's not. I like doing a walk though in the rain with an umbrella. That's nice. But it's not too rainy.
So Sam is currently procrastinating on his assignments that are due on Monday. Jack, do you have anything due this coming Monday?
No. I have a final on Friday, and I have a paper due Thursday.
Okay.
It's 8-page paper. Minimum 8 pages. I'm gonna do it on...
That's long.
Yeah, well, in history, that's not long.
It's long for me because I'm an engineer and I don't know how to read.
Yeah, an average paper in history class is about 10 and 12 pages.
Oof.
I did one of my essays. I got 6 and a 7th page started, not even halfway through. And I'm just going to do in this class. But this is going to be interesting. The essay I'm doing next on Julius Caesar, and it's the idea of failure of Roman republicanism being inevitable due to the Roman myth of kind of like Mas Maiorum, which is like the idea of leaders wanting to pass on their legacies. Like how that kind of ruined the Republic during Caesar's time, would have led to the demise and establishment of the empire. We have a centralized emperor instead of like a multi-politician government.
That's interesting. Because I know like dictatorships in the Republic was a political position that you were like elected into.
I forgot that part.
And then every dictator before Caesar willingly gave up absolute power, and at some point someone wasn't going to give it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense to me.
Thanks for reminding me that, by the way. I forgot he kept the dictator role until he was assassinated by Octavian.
No, Et tu, Brute.
Oh, okay, never mind. Octavian planned it though. Octavius was the first leader of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, that's ages ago.
Oopsies. I'm going to drop out now. Goodbye, guys.
Now, I think history is interesting, but I would never want to major in it. It's just, it's not what I like to do.
Yeah. He wants big money.
I just don't want to, like, I don't want to teach. I don't want to, like, study books for a living. I want to do something with computers.
Yeah, I like computers, but can't take the math side of it. I just can't. Or the idea of being a monkey, just like typing away, doesn't interest me at all.
Is that your excuse of why you never learned how to program in any language?
Oh, I used to, no, back in elementary school and middle school.
If you say the word scratch, I'm gonna laugh at you.
We did some Scratch, but I originally learned how to write in BASIC. So from elementary school and middle school, if you count summer school, all the times I took it during the school year, I took 5 times to computer science. I took a computer programming class for an elective with Mr. Whitmore, really good guy. We learned how to write in BASIC originally, and later started working in BASIC and Scratch. I admittedly liked working in BASIC a lot more. I thought coding was a lot more fun. But at the same time, used to get a lot more help from my teacher on my BASIC than I would on my Scratch. Originally used old Mac laptops. Literally moved on to a Windows laptop that had Linux, that had Ubuntu installed on it. It was my first Linux experience. Like, we couldn't listen to the YouTube, so I used forshare.com, which is like a file sharing site used mostly in South America. I used to listen to music on that. I used to look it up. That's how I got my music fix.
I've used a bit of Linux, but I find it to be too much effort for what it gives me.
Yeah. I personally like Mac. I personally like Mac better. I like using
Mac OS. I do. Yeah. It's definitely friendlier. Mac is definitely friendlier. The amount of programs that are able to be run by Windows is significantly higher than those can be run by Mac, and that's why I use Windows, just because of the stuff I need to use works better with Windows than it does with Mac. It's funny, there's a person in my object-oriented programming class who he only has a Mac, so when he submits his projects, he uses this like the C#compiler.com. He copy pastes his code into there, so nice. He doesn't, because he can't download Visual Studio because Microsoft doesn't work with Mac systems.
Yeah, vice versa. Well, you can get Wine. That works to some degree.
Most people I know who have Mac laptops just download Windows for their Mac.
Yes,
so that feels like it's just too much effort. I'd rather just have a Windows machine.
Yeah, I know Wine is usually used for the most common version of Wine is used to run Windows applications on Linux. I think now Wine is used to run there's a version of it now that runs Windows programs on Mac. So it's not the reverse. Like, I really like GarageBand, but GarageBand does not exist. Let's see, to run a Mac application on Windows, you can't. If you install a Mac OS on virtual machine, you can do it that way.
That's always the solution. If you have the wrong machine, is just download the OS on a virtual machine. But if I want to do my coding homework, I don't want to have to open a virtual machine to do it. I just want to do it on my computer. It's an ease of use thing.
I don't have to install a disk image too on my thing either. It's too much memory for its disk image.
What does GarageBand do that's unique?
It's just easy to use. It has built-in synthesizer options. So instead of having to download a virtual sound instrument, you can do it automatically on there. There's a lot of instruments already packed in it. It's pretty useful.
All right.
For amateur, not professional, but amateur production.
Make your own music to breakdance too.
Yes, exactly. So music.
Yeah.
How do you listen to music? What do you mostly listen to?
I've been listening to significantly less now. The times when I listen to music, when I would listen to music, would be when I'm driving or when I'm walking to and from class. And I've pretty much replaced all of that with podcasts and audiobooks. The only other...
Wow.
Oh, big brain. The only other time I'd really listen to music would be when I'm playing video games, and then it's a split of, depending on what kind of game I'm playing, whether or not I still listen to music, or if I switch to podcasts and audiobooks. So for a simple game that requires very little of my attention, something like Euro Truck Simulator or Minecraft, I just listen to audiobooks or podcasts while playing those. But if I'm playing a game that takes more of my attention away, then I play a lot of grand strategies, stuff like Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis. Those games I prefer just to have normal, just music in the background, rather than a podcast that I also have to divert my attention to. And then music that I listened to a lot recently, I listened to a lot of soul and jazz. So my father had a box full of CDs that he told me to put onto his iPad. So I put them all onto the computer, and I downloaded a bunch of them to my phone. And I like quite a lot of them. I like 1950s style jazz. It's interesting.
I usually listen to music on my phone, usually through my Google Play app, or Google Music app. And that comes on every phone default, because it's the default player, so why not? Usually I use YouTube mostly. I just listen to variety of music. Most electronic music, of course, like I always have listened to. But variety, also like 80s, like world music. Like some
Such a stupid classification.
I'm starting to like more disco. Like world music. In case you don't know, it just classifies all forms of music that are not Western.
Yeah, it's a
Western
completely
influence.
worthless classification that tells you nothing about the type of music.
Yeah. Well, I think it does because like I like the idea of I listen to it because I like listening to music from other countries, like the imagery in my head. So kind of like just the general theme of being a variety of international styles. That's why I use the term world music. But I digress. And I listen to,
Because if you listen to like, I don't know, like something like Italian rap, and then like, I don't know, like Islamic hymns would both be classified as world, even though they're not at all the same type of music.
yeah. Well, world music would be more like, let's say, Islamic hymns, Italian folk music. Like Italian rap, it's more westernized music produced with a western sound, and Italian.
But it's still classified as world by iTunes.
Yeah, that's inaccurate according to iTunes. World music traditionally usually means international styles that are not westernized. Like for example, like let's say like even Western music would count as world music, like Western folk music, like Swedish folk music, Finnish folk music, English folk music.
It's an unhelpful classification.
Yeah. Well, it's helpful for me because it lets me explain that I like music from different countries. At the imagery,
Yeah, you
like
could just say I like music from different countries. I like world music. What does that mean?
It's easier to say. It's only 2 words instead of 5.
Those syllables are very important to you, Jack. You have to save every single one.
I like classifying music. I'm obsessed with that type of stuff, so that's the reason why.
You like classifying, so you choose the worst classification possible.
Well, no, because it's like there's a certain scene or certain feeling you have with some world music compared to listening to like sounds westernized. Like you get different sounds, more unique, more like when I say westernized, I mean like more general westernized, like more like pop, rock, more of like a general westernized music.
You're never going to convince me that world music is a useful classification.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, so let's get to explanation of my music. Yeah, like when I play video games, I listen to certain forms of world music, like Yugoslav war songs, Russian revolutionary music, a general thing that seems like war-ish, like bands like Sabaton, maybe some music that just
Sabaton is not world music. That's metal.
Like that, or like songs that just play songs like Middle Eastern music that seem more war-based, just because that's what we're constantly in the United States in regards to our government and international conflicts.
You're so big into war.
Yeah, well, it's for war games. That's the reason why. Like I do usually listen to music. Like for other games, I listen to music in those.
So you listen to music that's tailored to the game?
Yeah, somewhat themed with the game I'm playing. I like the music to capture the rhythm of playing it. Like Tetris are for faster music, a bit more electronic. Like music games, that's the regular music they have because you know some musical stuff like that. Especially just because I play mostly FPS games. That's why I just like shooters in general. Like on space shooters, I like listen to their own music because they usually have really good like melodic, really fun music like Toho, that type of thing. Raiden. The quick thing is, any game that doesn't have music, I listen to music on pretty much.
What games don't have music?
FPS games usually. When you're in a match, you don't listen to any music. You turn the music down so you get stereo sounds, so the music in the background. The music on that. So that's why I listen to music mostly when we play video games. It's mostly war-based. It's because like with games like FPS, there's no soundtrack, so it helps fill the time.
What bands do you normally listen to?
Not really bands. I listen to music on YouTube. Just go on and
Alright.
I just find a song I like it on YouTube, and I put it then I listen to my liked songs.
Alright.
Well, it's mostly genres. Like I like genres of music. Like I like house music, high energy, kind of old school electronic disco music. I like techno, break beats, trance music, like some experimental stuff. Have those in a while though. I like drum and bass, especially. I like drum and bass, the old school stuff, the jungle-ish. Yeah, these are pretty much very music nerd terms. No one's gonna understand.
I've got no idea what he's on about. So if you're like me and lost,
go on Wikipedia.
Or don't listen to normal music.
I like jazz. I like good jazz though. Like I like Sun Ra. I like Miles Davis.
What kind of jazz do you like? Big band jazz, New Orleans jazz?
I like more like the 60s, 50s, 60s, more like rhythmish, experimental type.
All right.
I like kind of the giant steps type stuff where it goes like dun 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 dun. Like the chords, those big chords, like the strong fast rhythms. Like Buddy Rich, like that. It's a good drummer. Sun Ra. If you don't like jazz, like more experimental music, electronic music or whatnot, highly recommend Sun Ra. Very experimental, very fun to listen to. There's no experimental like random notes. It's not free form. It's more avant-garde and fun.
For actual jazz, I enjoy Count Basie a lot. His album Corner Pocket, I think, is the best. The New York Hard Bop Quintet is quite good jazz. Sam Cooke is very good. Oh, Cab Calloway. I'm
Always good.
big fan of Cab Calloway.
Funny, Reefer Man.
Bud Powell. Bud Powell's very good.
Remember the big band music? Because my grandpa grew up around that type of stuff, so I say whenever I hear it, it reminds me of my grandpa's house. So I was on low volume. I never liked being in my grandpa Saba's house. It's very interesting, man. Bit peculiar sometimes. And it doesn't give me like the really good feeling. Like it's some nostalgia though, at least.
I do also just enjoy like metal music, but I prefer the kind of metal that I can actually understand the lyrics to. So I like Sabaton a lot, and I like Falconer. Falconer's just very similar to Sabaton. I like Tool. Tool's good. Yes. And then I think it's the lead singer from Tool has the band A Perfect Circle. I like that one quite a bit as well. Let's see. The thing I've listened to most recently that I found it's a blues rock band called Mississippi Bones. They're just a bunch of nerds from Ohio who do songs about silly things. So I recommend the song Dungeon Hustle, which is just about them playing D&D. But it's a blues rock song.
I think I have similar taste in metal. I like Tool. I like Rage Against the Machine. Yeah. I like some more tight stuff. I admittedly like some new metal. Like I like Limp Bizkit. I like the chunky sound, the aggressive, the chunky sound with the strong rhythms. I like the stuff where you can't understand what they're saying.
Really?
Yeah. I like the more, yeah. Well, I like more aggressive, more strong rhythmic metal. Okay. And of course, I like melodic metal though, like power metal. So that include like Dragon Force, Sabaton. So my favorite types of metal, I like old speed metal. Like I like you can understand these vocals. Like I like Racer X, a really good one. I like first wave black metal. Like Celtic Frost, one of my favorites.
All right, music. It's good.
Listen, I was like chiptune music. That's pretty cool. Like old video game music.
I love 8-bit edits of like other songs. I find those really interesting.
Cringe.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
8-bit pop song covers.
Not like pop songs.
Oh, okay.
I like 8-bit versions of just like normal songs.
Yeah. Yeah, I like original compositions, like the more melodic stuff. Like, there's nothing better than the Sid C64 music, which I love I love the layering of the sounds, way it sounds. It's such a great audio chip in regards to the sounds it can produce. Makes no sense. You can't vocalize something that's multi-layered.
Probably the only person I know who has a preference on not just chip tunes, on the specific chip that has to be used.
Yes. And there's own fans, it's like listening to rock music, right? Some people like a heavily distorted guitar. Some people like more clean guitar, It's the way it sounds to you, Yeah, so I have my cosplay club thing. We have our potluck. The problem is the potluck is the day before my final. So that sucks.
What have you cosplayed as, Jack? Do you have any images I can put in the description of this video?
No. I've cosplayed as... First one is Kaneda from Akira. That was back in middle school. That was kind of embarrassing because I slipped and fell on my ass. And I had a scare where I thought I fractured my spine again. It was later fine, yeah. Last one I did was it was a ghetto quickly made cosplay. It was of one of the guys from Dorara. I can't remember his name. Kidashi's last name. Oh, I love humans. That guy. I've done the main character from High School of the Dead. Can't remember his name. My favorite one though was I did Weeaboo Jones on the Filthy Frank videos. It was kind of like a troll. It was a troll thing I made for our local anime convention, Back Anime. And I made that the night before. Well, I started working on it before then, but I finished it the night before. And it was made using a white t-shirt, blue plastic tablecloth. Since the blue napkin that I use more like fabric broke, so I used that to make a Japanese schoolgirl top. And then for my sunglasses, I got a piece of white computer paper, taped it to the side of my black spray bands, so it looked like they're white on the side. And actually, from a distance, it worked out pretty well. Then I got the Naruto eyes, with the eyes with like the I managed to find the exact ones. The eyes with the shuriken in them. I taped that onto my glasses.
Sharingan.
Yeah, so I got my I didn't have the white with red stripe sweatpants on, but I did have gray sweatpants. So I wore those. Then it was supposed to be my gut. I put I rolled up some tissues. I put up some napkins and put it in my pants. Be like the gut. And I walked up. When yes, I did the whole skit. I walked up and just did like the Rasengan and the Kumenjutsu. And the first time I ever did cause I originally didn't know I was going to do a skit, but I kind of did anyway because you kind of had to. So I did my skit. It was massive fun. I made a bunch of kids laugh. I got two people to ask for a photo. 2 guys. That was pretty cool. I ran around the stage. I did like the crab thing, right? Put my hands in my on the pant legs, and I kind of like did this weird run thing to from the stage I jumped off of to the end of the room, and yeah, that's my cosplays. Too kawaii to live, too sugoi to die.